Hello everybody, welcome to Deluxe Collectibles, and today I'm going to be doing a LEGO Worst to First for all of the upcoming LEGO Star Wars 2020 sets. There are 11 of them that we will be going over in this video, and I'm going to be ranking each of them, as I said, from worst to first, and I'll just be giving my in-depth thoughts about the sets, just giving my own personal opinion. Keep that in mind. None of this is, of course, an objective opinion, but instead my subjective points will be included here, of course. And let me know your rankings down below as well. Then we can compare our list with yours, of course, and then kind of see the differences and the comparisons between them. And if we share the same sort of perspectives or if we have different perspectives, it's always an interesting thing to sort of discover. And I do hope you go on to enjoy the video. And if you do, be sure to leave a like and also subscribe. I really appreciate the support for the channel. And without further ado, let's get into it here with number 11. Alright, so first up here we have Anakins Jedi Interceptor. This one is set number 75281, and it will include 248 pieces, and it will retail in the US for $29.99 and then in Canada for $39.99. And the reason why this set is at the bottom is actually because we previously, just recently, had a set released for LEGO Star Wars, and it was Anakin's Jedi Starfighter, and this one you can still purchase it on the LEGO shop, and for Canada and the US it retailed for $19.99 and then for $24.99, and that set included the same characters. Now the Anakin in this set is a different one with a different print on the torso, and it may also be on the legs as well. And the Anakin Starfighter did include 247 pieces, and this one includes 248. And I get it, they are technically different vehicles here, but they're so similar that I feel like it's so weird to see that price increase. And I completely understand. I'm not trying to complain about how there's going to be price increases. I understand that that's just a part of things and that's how it's going to be, so there's no point in complaining about it. But it's just so funny to see that contrast in a set that was so recently released and now this new one here, and the similarities between them minifigure wise and piece count wise, and then to see that drastic contrast in the price. It's really quite crazy to me. I mean, in Canadian currency, that's a $15 increase. That is a pretty large increase considering you're getting one extra piece. And some of the pieces in the Interceptor are nice. I do like the cockpit, the piece that goes over that. I think that looks really nice. Of course, that's a big bulky piece, so that's going to cost LEGO a bit more to produce. But still, overall, I don't really think there's enough differences to really make that good of a case for this set. But I still do like the design of this one. I think it's good for what it is. It's just that it feels like a bit of a repeat of something that's coming a little bit too soon. I completely get it. We're going to have remakes of LEGO sets all the time. It just makes sense. But for this one, I know they're different vehicles, but still, it just feels a little bit weird to me. Next up here at number 10, we have the Mandalorian and the Child Brickheads, and this one is set number 75317. It's going to retail in the US for $19.99 and then in Canada for $24.99. And I'm not a collector of brickheads personally, so that's why they're lower on the list for me. I understand that probably people who are a big fan of this line will probably prefer these to some of the other sets that I've ranked higher, but I can definitely appreciate the design of these. I think they really nailed the designs, especially of the Child. I'm not a huge fan, and you'll hear me talk about this later on when we get to the set that the character is included in, but I'm not a huge fan of the minifigure that they gave for the Child, or you can call it a minifigure, but basically the minifigure scale version of the Child. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think they could have improved upon some parts, which I'll discuss later, but I really think they nailed it with this Brickheads here. I think they captured captured the cuteness very well, and maybe it's because of the eyes that they're able to use here. They're very cute, like enlarged eyes, and I love how the character is in their floating like carriage there. I think that was a really cool thing to kind of put them in and to make it a little bit more of a dynamic sort of like pose and just build for the actual child there. And then you have the Mandalorian, who just looks great. I mean, they did a fantastic job there. Kind of reminds me of the Boba Fett design that we got previously in Brickheads, and I thought that was pretty well done also. So I think they did a good job translating this one as well. And I'm curious to see if we'll get some of the other characters from the Mandalorian in Brickheads form, because there are quite a big range of characters that you could probably do, and even different costumes for the Mandalorian, like different versions of the character that they have from their clan. And yeah, just overall, I think it's a good Brickheads, but just not something that personally appeals to me. Alright, now we've got the Knights of Ren transport ship, and this one is set number 75284, and this one includes 595 pieces, and it will retail in the US for $69.99, and then in Canada for $99.99. And this one includes 3 minifigures here. We're getting Rey, and then we're getting 2 of the remaining Knights of Ren that we needed to complete our collection. So it is nice that they're giving us those. They both look really great. I love both of their molded helmets there. I think those look fantastic. So a well done job to Lego on that part. I like that they each get separate torsos and legs as well. I think that's a nice added detail also to kind of differentiate between each of them. And then we're getting Rey as well, who same as always, but I think that she looks good also. I'm glad that we're getting her in another set here, because she wasn't included in too many of the other Rise of Skywalker sets, if my memory is correct there. And then the build for this one, now this set, I cannot lie, does feel a bit overpriced, but I think that it's still an alright build. If you just took away the price, I think I could judge this build a lot better. I think that it's a nice sleek design that they were able to pull off here. I think that the black and the gray work together really well, of course matching with the Knights of Ren very well also, but I just think that that price really brings this set down. And an interesting thing to mention as well is that we do get an advertisement on the box for the Skywalker Saga game, and there's a few other sets where it seems to actually interact with the game where you can unlock something, so I'll make sure to mention that as well when we do get to it. But I just think this set is a little lackluster, but for people who have been collecting the Knights of Ren minifigures, I'm sure this will be one that they'll want to pick up, because it's definitely one that you'll need to complete your collection for the Rise of Skywalker. At number 8 here, we have General Grievous' Starfighter. This one is set number 75286. It will include 487 pieces, and it should retail in the US for $79.99, and then in Canada for $119.99. And this set does include 3 minifigures, and I've heard a lot of complaints about the Obi-Wan figure because it is the same one from the Duel on Mustafar set, which is also a recent set that we got for Lego Star Wars. So you're kind of seeing a pattern between overpriced sets here and reuses of minifigures, which is a bit disappointing, but a counterpoint to it is also that Lego Star Wars has been going on for so long, and we obviously know that we're going to be getting a lot more sets in the future, so I feel like it's okay for Lego to repeat a figure here or there as long as it's the same character and they're at least halfway accurate. I think that it works. I understand that for this Obi-Wan here, he has like some burn or scuff marks on him, and that isn't exactly accurate to the scene. Apparently, I can't exactly confirm that, but I've seen multiple videos discussing it, and I do acknowledge that, but I don't feel like it's the end of the world. And maybe to the average fan of Lego, they won't really distinguish this, but I get it. For hardcore fans, it may be a little disappointing, but still, I don't think it's the end of the world. There could be way worse things for this, and probably the worst thing for this set is the price. I mean, $119.99 in Canada. Now, $79.99, and I get it. I'm not going to spend too much time complaining about conversion rates between the US and Canada. I understand it's a thing, but Like, that's a pretty big difference there. I don't know, it just doesn't feel right, and especially for a set of this size. Like, it's not even like we're getting a big figure or anything. Like, General Grievous is a cool figure, do not get me wrong, but outside of Star Wars, it's not like he comes with really anything that could be usable outside of that. Like, it's a cool minifigure print or something like that, which, speaking of, I really do love the Airborne Trooper here. I think that he looks really fantastic. Love the printing on that, the orange and the white. This would probably be the thing that would draw me to the set the most, but I just feel like it's lacking for the price that they're charging here. It just doesn't feel like it makes up for it, and especially at that price point. I mean, with the piece to the price, and I don't like to do this too often, but it just doesn't add up in my opinion, at least. But the set, just judging it based not off of price, I think they did a good job designing it here. I haven't really seen this design recently. I don't follow Star Wars like too much for Lego. Like, I see the sets, but I don't really retain if they've done it before. I really have to do my research to find that out, but this is one that I haven't at least seen on the shelves for a while with this design, so I am glad that they're remaking it here for Star Wars, but it just feels a little bit lackluster for the price they're charging, but still an alright build with at least one really cool minifigure with that Airborne Trooper there, but otherwise nothing too amazing. Okay, next up here we have the AT-AT, and this one is set number 75288, and this one includes 1,267 pieces. It will retail in the US for $159.99, and then in Canada for $199.99. And then the minifigs that are included are Luke Skywalker, General Veers, AT-AT Driver, which we'll get 2 of those, and then a Snow Trooper as well, or should I say 2 Snow Troopers. So a pretty good inclusion for minifigs there, and I have heard some Star Wars YouTubers saying that this is a pretty accurate build for the AT-AT, probably the most accurate that we've had thus far, so that is a good thing to hear. I do like the design of this build. I think it's really well done. It would have been cool if maybe we got a motorized version of it. I know there was a previous one from a long time ago that we did receive, so it would be nice to see that come back, but I understand that would raise the price even more than it already is, which honestly, glancing at this, like at first glance, I didn't really guess it would cost this much, but I think that as I looked at it more and more, it makes a lot more sense, and I do like the build. I've just never really been too drawn towards wanting to purchase it because I just, like, I understand it's totally accurate being a completely gray color scheme, but it just feels a little boring to me, and that's just for my collecting, like, personally. That's not, like, just on its own. I think as an AT-AT, it works perfectly, but I think just for my collection, it's just not something that I would really want to put in it. Like, it's just a little bland, in my opinion, but the actual build and the actual, like, designing that they did with it is really well done. I like that we're getting Luke as well, and that he can hang off of the AT-AT as well, like the scene from the film, so I really do like that as well. The Snow Troopers look great with their 2 little side builds, which I think are substantial enough to kind of like make it worth having them there. I like the creative use of the gun pieces, like kind of holding up one of the turrets. I think that that's a really creative design that they were able to pull off there, and then the just all of the minifigs all together I think come together really well, have some cool color schemes to them also, and I think overall it's a well done set, but just not one that really appeals to me too much, so that's why it's a bit lower on the list, but by no means is a bad set. Alright, now we've got the Star Wars Resistance ITS transport. This one is set number 75293. It will include 932 pieces, and it should retail in the US for $99.99, and then in Canada for $139.99. And a cool detail, since this is a ship from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, it actually says transported from their trading outpost, so I think that's a really cool detail there, kind of confirming what some people had speculated, that set, it probably isn't going to be an exclusive to the Outpost, and as we can see from there, it's not going to be, which I'm glad about. I know some people might have wanted it to be something like that to kind of increase its rarity, but I'm glad that it's going to just be available easily to the public. And then the minifig selection here is really great. I love the characters, especially the main one. I can see Vi Moradi, sorry if I mispronounced that, or Moradai, I'm not too sure on the pronunciation there, but I think that she looks amazing. I love her hairpiece, it looks fantastic. The black then kind of turning into that blue there, that looks amazing. Such a cool hairpiece there. Even the print on the torso looks fantastic as well. Then we're getting Lieutenant Beck, who looks good as well. I like the head mold there. Then an astromech droid and a power droid as well, a GNX power droid, which looks really cool also. Kind of a simple build, but also a unique one as well. And then judging the design based off the ship here, I think it looks fantastic. It's a really cool design that I don't see too often, like just sort of the style. I understand that we haven't gotten the transport, of course, this specific one previously, but just kind of that design. You can kind of see in some Star Wars ships similarities between them, even if they're a different type of ship, but this one looks pretty unique to me, at least from what I've seen, and I think it has a cool design to it. I like the color scheme, the blue and the gray. If it was just plain gray, it maybe wouldn't appeal to me as much, but I like how it has the added blue there to kind of give it a pop in color, which I can really appreciate. I like how you're able to kind of load stuff onto it as well, because of course it's a transport ship, so that's a feature that it would definitely need. The cockpit as well looks pretty good, leaving an adequate amount of space for one minifig there. And then we have a main transport section as well, where you could fit some of your other characters with the cargo that they're carrying, and it's just overall a well done set. I think that this one's a really cool, definitely a welcome inclusion to this wave here, because I think we needed something like brand new, and I feel like this is something that really brings it. And this is one of the ones where I will mention that on the back of the box you can see that there is an advertisement for Play It In Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, and you can find the secret code to unlock this ship. So that's a really cool inclusion there, that you're able to purchase this set and then unlock it in the game. So that's definitely something that for people who may play that game and might not regularly collect Lego, but if they want to complete all of the ships in the game, then they're going to have to purchase this set. So yeah, it'll definitely be something that will increase the purchasing rate of this set, I would say. So overall, a well done set for sure. Alright, now we've got the LEGO Star Wars Advent Calendar, set number 75279. This one will include 311 pieces, and it will retail in the US for $39.99 and then in Canada for $49.99. And this one has an amazing box design. I just had to mention this. It looks fantastic. I love the northern lights effect that they have going on. I love the snowy trees, and I really like how they have the original Star Wars packaging there that they're using for the rest of the sets, and it looks like you're kind of unwrapping it off of there with the bow on the side, and that is just such a cool and clever design. And I want to mention this right away, that they do also have a logo there for the the Skywalker Saga, I meant to say, where you can unlock a special character who I would assume would be the exclusive Darth Vader here. That would make the most sense to me. Maybe possibly Poe Dameron, but most likely him. It would be cool to unlock both of them, but I would say Darth Vader is the more likely choice if it's one character. And then for the actual builds in this advent calendar, they went all out with this one. Some of the mini builds here look so fantastic, or micro scale I suppose I should say. You have Darth Vader's castle, which looks fantastic. You get a Tauntaun. You even get the Razor Crest as well, which looks fantastic. Obi-Wan's hut. You just get a whole variety here, which is really amazing. You're also getting Dio in this set, and a Porg as well, which will be really nice for me specifically because I don't have either of those characters, so that'll be really cool to add them to my collection. You also get a snowman droid build as well, which looks really amazing. And then minifigure wise, you get Luke Skywalker, who is a nice inclusion. Of course, you gotta have one of the main characters there. Then you get one of the Sith troopers as well. It looks amazing. I know that we could get these in a battle pack. I'm not sure if this is an exclusive version of any kind. It's most most likely not, but I couldn't say 100%, but I think nonetheless it looks fantastic. Then we have Rey as well, of course you have to include her, and then you get Poe Dameron in an ugly Christmas sweater there with BB-8 on it. I think that's amazing. Such a cool idea for them to do, and I'm so glad they went with this. And then of course we get a Stormtrooper included as well, because that's a mainstay, and I'm glad that I'll be able to get one of those newer Stormtroopers. I really love the molding on the helmet there. And then the main attraction for this set, I think for most people, is this Darth Vader minifigure. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Poe Dameron looks fantastic as well, but this Darth Vader looks so cool. I don't actually have one of the newer Darth Vaders in my collection with that new helmet, so I'm really glad that I'll be able to get it in a more affordable set. I know it's not the cheapest thing, but for about 50 bucks, I think that's pretty reasonable considering everything you're getting. And then the torso just looks fantastic. I could see so many people using that for their custom minifigures. I think that would be such a cool piece there, especially for the holiday season. Love that we have the Death Star featured on there. The legs as well look amazing. It's just a fantastic figure, and they picked the perfect color there with red because it matches so well with the black. So just an amazing advent calendar, one of the best ones that I think we've had in years, box design wise and the actual contents included. So just a fantastic job on LEGO's part. Alright, now we've got the set that probably the most people are talking about due to M&R Productions and his campaign for getting this set made, and it is the 501st Legion Clone Troopers. This one is set number 75280. It's going to include 285 pieces, and it will retail in the US for $29.99 and $39.99 in Canada. And this set looks fantastic. I know it's not really a battle pack, but it's definitely the closest thing that we could probably get, and it looks amazing. I love all of the 501st troopers that you're getting. You get one jet trooper and then some clone troopers and then some battle droids as well, and the builds also look really great. I love the designs of them and the color schemes for them as well, with the blue and the gray. I think those go together really well, kind of reminding me of the transport from Galaxy's Edge, like color scheme wise, and I do like how that comes out. And of course the minifigs are just the main attraction with this one. I think they look fantastic. I know I've heard M&R Productions talk a lot about wanting to pick up multiples of this set, and honestly, I can't blame him. My point on that is that they're probably going to make like thousands of these sets. I was going to say hundreds, but it's obviously going to be like thousands of these. So I think there will be plenty for everybody, and they're obviously going to restock these and keep them on the shelves for quite a while because they're fantastic and is something that obviously fans really wanted. So I'm really glad for him and for everyone who's a Star Wars fan for LEGO are getting this set because it looks amazing. They did such a fantastic job here, and honestly, I'll probably pick it up for myself, not even because of my own interest in the 501st Clone Troopers, but just because it was such a big movement in the LEGO community, and I think it's just really great to see it all come to fruition. So I definitely want to support that so that maybe it can happen further on in the future for other projects as well. So super excited about this one. Great design overall. Alright, so I know I put the 501st Legion Clone Trooper set at the number 4 spot, and I know some people may disagree with that, but keep in mind that it is my personal opinion here, and I know some people may put that set up higher, especially considering how much effort went into getting that set made, but for me personally, I wasn't really a huge part of that movement, and I just think that some of these other sets are a bit more superior in my opinion, and just kind of fulfill what I kind of want for a Star Wars set. But going on here, we have the Armored Assault Tank, the AAT. This one is set number 75283. It will include 286 pieces and retail in the US for $39.99 and then in Canada for $49.99. And this set will include Ahsoka Tano, and that is just amazing. I know that Michael Bricks on Instagram will probably really love this set. I've seen him putting a few posts up about it, and I'm super excited as well. I love Ahsoka Tano. I think she's she's a great character with an awesome design. I have a few Funko Pops of her and she just looks amazing, so I'm super glad that I'll be able to get her for an affordable price in a Lego form, and I think that her minifigure just looks amazing. I absolutely love that mold on her head there, of course. That looks fantastic. The actual torso and leg printing as well looks great. Lightsabers also look fantastic as well. And then, of course, you get a few other minifigures as well, which are really fantastic. Also, you get one of the Ahsoka's Clone Trooper ones, and that looks fantastic as well. I think they did a great job with the design there. I know that's another minifig that people really wanted as well, so I'm glad to see that it's coming in Lego here also. And then you have a battle droid as well, which looks fine. They have a little bit of printing there on the head with the green, so I think that that's a nice inclusion there. You get two of them, and then there isn't really too much else to it minifig wise, but then the actual build I think looks good. The Armored Assault Tank definitely has a unique design to it, I would say, and not something that I really see too often, and I like the color scheme a lot. I really love the color like navy blue, and I think that looks really fantastic there with the gray kind of going up against it, and it's a nice build. A lot of space there for your battle droids to fit in as well, and I love how on the back of the box you can see one of the battle droids like catching one of the blasts like mid-air. I'm like, are you like Kylo Ren in like The Force Awakens? But yeah, I think this set is amazing. Ahsoka Tano is definitely one of the main reasons for me thinking that, but it's a big enough reason to get it at the number 3 spot, and what else can I say? Okay, now we've got the Deathstar Final Duel set number 75291. This one will include 775 pieces. It will retail in the US for $99.99 and then in Canada for $139.99. And this set changes everything, and that is because of one minifigure, and that is the Darth Vader in this set, because he has arm printing. That is amazing that we are finally getting probably the most accurate version of Darth Vader that we've ever had in Lego form, and it looks amazing. I absolutely love how the arm printing came out there. As I had said previously with the advent calendar, I don't have a Darth Vader with this newly molded helmet, and I'm so glad that this is the version that hopefully I'll be able to get my hands on. $140 is quite a bit of cash, but hopefully if I can get it on a sale, then I'll be able to pick this one up because it looks amazing. I absolutely love the design here, the torso print, the leg print as well. All of that just comes together in all of the best ways. And then you get Luke Skywalker as well, who looks good also. I like his green lightsaber there. And then you get Palpatine, who looks fantastic. I really love the design of him. Love the lightning there, the face print as well. I like that he's using that new hood piece. I know some people aren't huge fans of that, and I've heard Ash and Flash say that he seems to be one of the only ones who really likes it, and I'm here to say that I like it as well. I think that it's a great piece, so I'm there with you. I think that it looks fantastic and that they did a great job creating that. I just feel like it looks a lot more menacing and not as cleanly cut, which kind of fits a villain a lot better. Maybe for a more hero-themed character it wouldn't work as well, but I think definitely for a villain it works really well. And then you get two of the Imperial Royal Guards as well, who look really amazing with that red and black color scheme there. And then for the actual build, I think they did an amazing job here. You can also unlock something in the Rise of Skywalker game as well, which I'm going to take a look at that, and it is a special character, which honestly, I couldn't really guess who it would be. Maybe Palpatine if he's not included in the game already, but I'm not too sure. It will obviously be just a new version of a character. Maybe Darth Vader with the printed arms. I'm not too sure. I honestly couldn't say. But then moving on to the build, they just did an amazing job here. So many cool details. I love the darker red near the front of it, and then we get into the gray, the darker grays there with some of the black highlights as well, or lowlights I suppose you could say, since it's a darker tone color. But I think that looks great. You get a little play feature there on the stairs where you can drop them off as well. Of course, you can represent that iconic moment from Star Wars also, which is really nice. So this set just really nails this design. I know we've gotten this previously like as a set, but of course now it's just been upgraded to the maximum here, and I think they did an amazing job. Definitely one that will highly be on my radar, hence why it's at number 2 here. I think it's just amazing. But now let's move on to number 1. Alright, at number 1 here we have the Razor Crest from the Mandalorian, and this one is set number 75292. This one includes 1,023 pieces and will retail in the US for $129.99 and then in Canada for $159.99. And this one will be surprisingly an Amazon exclusive and of course be available at LEGO stores as well. But it was a little surprising to me just because the Mandalorian has been such a huge hit that it's kind of weird that they're making the largest set for the Mandalorian an exclusive. So I'm not too sure, maybe they're trying to test waters here, even though I know we've had previous sets surrounding the Mandalorian. I still think since this is such a large one, maybe they want to test waters with it, and maybe because it's so expensive they see it as more of a premium product that most people wouldn't really purchase just in a store like a Walmart or something like that. But going on about the set here, of course, we get the big thing for the set, and that is the child, of course, looking very cute. I really like the design of it. Now, granted, I do think maybe the expression could have been a little bit like more of a smile, I would say, or have more just expression in it, just in general. It feels a little bit simple, but overall the sculpting was well done, and I like how they're using that baby piece there. I feel like it fits pretty well. And then we get a scout trooper as well, IG-11, looking very good. Also, Grief Karga, who looks fantastic. I really love his face print. His torso as well looks great, and I like the color of his legs. And then we, of course, get the Mandalorian, who we previously got in, but I'm glad that we're getting him once again. This will be the first time, if I get to pick this set up, that I'll be adding him to my collection, so that will be very exciting. And then, going on about the actual ship here, the Razor Crest looks fantastic. They did such a great job of translating this into LEGO. I mean, it looks phenomenal. I really can't find too much that I don't like about it. I think they just did such a fantastic job here. I like the mixture between the lighter gray colors and then the darker gray. It adds a little bit more pizzazz to it. I love that we get one of the carbonite things like on a tile there. Not really a tile, but a LEGO block basically. I don't know the exact dimensions of the block, but I think that's really fantastic. From one of the first episodes, it might have been the first episode of the series when we primarily see that. And then I love one of the shots where you can see Mando just holding the child there at the control pad. Of course, a very like kind of iconic spot for them in the series and within the ship, so I do like that added detail in the pictures. And there seems to be quite a bit of space here. You get a sleeping quarters for Mando as well, which is very nice, and it's just amazing. They just did such a fantastic job of fleshing this set out. This is a case where I feel like the price point is warranted. I think it definitely lives up to that with piece count, minifigures, and just the overall design. Now, it would have been nice to maybe get the baby carriage thing, like the floating carriage basically, for the child. That would have been a cool inclusion, but still, nonetheless, it's a very well done set, and that's why it's at number 1. Alright, so that concludes my LEGO Star Wars upcoming 2020 sets worst to first video. Let me know your thoughts on this video, and do you like seeing this for some of the newer sets like how I'm doing it here? I know I've done a previous one for the LEGO Marvel Superheroes wave for 2012, and I know that was of course a much older wave, so do you want to see me go back and do stuff like that and do it also for these newer waves that we're getting? I think it can be a really interesting format to kind of express my thoughts, and I know I've previously done ranking videos, but I feel like this is a good way to do it as well, and then I don't have to worry about really scoring the set specifically, and I can just kind of share my general thoughts on it. And you can also share your thoughts as well in the comment section down below. I'm really interested to hear what you think of these sets, and keep in mind, once again, this is all my personal opinion, so none of these rankings are objective or anything like that. It's all just my subjective opinion, and you could have a different opinion, so let me know your worst to first down below as well. And just thank you so much for watching the video. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and also subscribe to the channel for future content as well. That would really be appreciated, and I will see you all next time, and always remember, keep on collecting.